At the moment, there isn't much going on in the game. We just got a sick Hawk and Oslo banner that will add nothing to the game for probably forever. We'll see. But in any case, it is November, which historically is when real stuff starts happening, right? November festival and December festivals are, historically the best. I wouldn't say banners of the year, because anniversary is always great, but I would say the best units of the year. They top everybody that came before, and usually not topped by much for a long time. If you look at any of the characters that have released, like for the past 3 years, in November and December, the characters are so good, they end up not being surpassed for a long time, if only by the characters that come out the next year in November and December. So it's really hard for you to assume that this is not going to be the case again. When you look at 2020, we got Blue the One, which was, a top tier character in the game overall for a long time. Now Green, I don't know why I said Green Assault Melee. There's only one Assault Melee, but Assault Melee was a weird one. Day one, he was already considered best in the game because of how he worked, but people aren't stupid, so that ended up not being working too well in his favor. He kind of ended up needing to be a unit that you face really stupid players with, but whatever the case, he's the only weird one out of all the examples that you can make. Because after that we have King, Festival King, to this day is a very, very strong character. He definitely has some weak sides to him, but you just can't deny how stupid he was at launch and then for a long time. Trader Mally, whatever, the units. But who's coming up and, what can we, assume could be coming up next? So, for what I've seen, the majority of the community is expecting a specific character for it to be November Festival, which is Chaos Arthur. I am no different. I really hope it is Chaos Arthur. Now, humans aren't necessarily bad these days. Roxy made quite a bit of a stir with her Holy Relic, and to be honest, right now they're not the best because no amount of DPS can really take care of Albedo turn 1, which is the big issue. The team revolves around having the most DPS possible and ending the match in one turn. If you can't end the match in one turn, you lose, right? So, although the team was number 1 team not even that long ago, it was very short-lasted, and right now it's kind of unusable if you face a Albedo team, which, let's be honest, is the vast majority of matches you face. So, even though, humans, haven't been ignored or anything for a long time, they were very strong, and we have a very powerful human LR. It's not like they are top 1 right now anyways. So I think a festival human that would actually make humans really, really strong would be very cool. LR Ascanor has been, I wouldn't say underutilized for an LR, because yes, he was a part of a top team that lasted a few weeks. But in any case, I think LR Ascanor is the most unfortunate LR, because it just so happens that his passive is a little too strict, and humans only really get very specific characters in very short spams, if that makes any sense. Bon was Anniversary Festival, and he's a human, but he's very strange with the units that he works with, and then we got Roxy, but other than that, no one in humans that we got this year were good at all. You look at Rudius was a bit of a unfortunate character. Any of the other humans we got this year, other than these 2 characters, and obviously Alaskana, were actually good. So, yeah, there is that, right? In any case, I think Chaos Arthur would be a great addition, and it would make LR Ascanor, pretty good right now. But there's someone that people, or something that people have been, I don't know if forgetting or ignoring, which is that not even that long ago, wait, let me pull this up. Okay, it was a long time ago. My sense of time is non-existent. We got, an announcement of Seven Knights of the Apocalypse coming to Grand Cross, and the anime has started, right? The Four Knights of the Apocalypse anime has started. I wouldn't be too opposed for Percival to be November Festival. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what they would do with him, because I don't know if they would be, very strict with trying to only make his animations anime-based, and the anime just started, so that's probably, that probably kind of destroys my my idea here, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I've read, I'm not caught up right now because I haven't read in a few months, but I read up to almost where it is right now in the manga. It's very good. I think anyone that's watching the anime is going to agree that honestly, I'm going to say something that, people are going to think it's weird. I think Knights of the Apocalypse is better than Seven Deadly Sins. And I hope that makes you want to watch it. If you haven't started watching it, I genuinely think that the mangaka got, better as he was writing Seven Deadly Sins, and now he's better than he was when he started Seven Deadly Sins. And by creating a new world, he has now been able to improve on his past work. That's the same thing that happened with JoJo. Each part gets better than the previous. Part 7 is the best, but each part gets better than the previous one because the mangaka got better writing as he went. And I think it's the same thing that happened here. But in any case, I wouldn't be opposed to Percival being a festival or even a December banner, because the banners that we usually get in December, let me pull up Real Across the Base, aren't good. Historically, let's say pull up 2021 here. So December 2021, we got Lilia and Liz. Now, I'm not saying Lilia wasn't good, but it's not hype. It's Lilia, right? And Liz, we already have 3 Liz's. Like, stop, please. I would like, they're still going to probably do some Christmas themed characters. But I would like for the non-Christmas themed December character to be maybe Percival or another character from Knights of the Apocalypse. That would be nice. Oh, I almost forgot, actually. I was going to do this before talking about the festival. There's going to be an LR coming up next week. I can't confirm this, but we don't have Labyrinth going on, nor Hero Arena. And LRs drop when Hero Arena drops. A new season, that is. So I'm going to assume next week or when the festival drops, because, I don't know. Very strange. I don't know why they didn't drop Hero Arena with Hawk and Oslo. That was just weird, because Labyrinth wasn't around anymore anyways. That's how they've been dropping, so that was just strange. But Hero Arena is not here right now. A new LR is going to come out, so I really wonder how that would affect the end-of-year drops, because LRs are powerful. And my idea, or my thought is that DLR is either going to be a new, or an old DN, sorry, or an old Bon. I wouldn't want Bon, I'll be honest. I think a lot of people want Bon, but Bon already has a recent festival. I kind of really want DN to be the DLR. I think a old giant DN, like this one, the blue giant DN, which, why is her relic not, she doesn't have a relic? Which doesn't have a relic. I mean, good time to drop a relic for her, right? Or one of these old, small DNs as well, could make a great LR. And they don't have to necessarily be good with the new festivals. They can just be an off thing. Like, when Escanor dropped, he had nothing to do with the banner that dropped with him, right? When LR Lost Vein dropped, yes, he had a lot to do with the festival that dropped with him, because, Bon's best team has been, and for a long time still is, with Lost Vein, right? Or I guess you could argue Bon's best team became humans for a little while, but for the longest time it was with Lost Vein. But that doesn't mean that every LR has to drop with something that makes sense with them. LR Liz drops with something that, is completely irrelevant to her specifically. So I think a new LR being, DN, would make sense. I think a lot of people have also been suggesting that. Or King as well, one of the old Kings. It would make sense with the Elaine that dropped recently, but I'm not so sure. So we kind of talked about November to its extent, really. There's not going to be another banner in November other than the festival. So, you know, that's about it. I do hope it is Chaos Arthur mainly, or the Percival. But another option that I haven't seen less and less people talk about is a festival Rio Galfer. Rio Galfer is a demon, but in the story he shows up as an unknown, so it would be very annoying to get another unknown character. Bro, we're done, alright? Unknown is done. You know how demons got so many characters in a row, and we're like, okay, it's over, alright? Stop. Do different stuff. Demons have had enough, alright? I feel like we're at this point of unknown for a while now, but they keep getting stuff. It just keeps on dropping. And the collab with Overlord did not help that, right? Got 4 new unknown characters, even if only 3 of them are PvP. And one of them just so happens to be a super huge meta character. In any case, if they do drop a wheelchair Gaffer, hope so. But the thing is, they've been really only going for story stuff. So when I say, oh, Chaos Arthur, it's because they're gonna go into the Chaos arc soon in the story. So, oh, sorry for spoiling 7 Deadly Sins, by the way. If your only means of watching is through the Grand Cross story, the 0.1% of you. But in any case, they're gonna get into the Chaos arc, and the Chaos Arthur makes sense. And so does make sense Percival, because if they're gonna drop, you know, maybe the Knights of the Apocalypse as like a little tidbit of story as well, right? But in any case, you know, anything else kind of feels off with how they've been putting up festivals recently. Now, what else? You know, December, I talked about hopefully getting a Knights of the Apocalypse character in the place of a character like Lilia, for example. Although, even characters like Lilia, and let me actually go back. So, Lilia was 2021. 2022, who was it again? I actually don't remember. Valenti. See, so irrelevant, I don't remember. Then 2023, we are heading on to probably, if I had to guess, the most likely character to release as one of these off December characters would be another Catastrophe. Annoying, I hate catastrophes at this point, like they're too overdone. But, you know, another Christmas Catastrophe. And we've done 3 red hair Liz's. I genuinely don't know what now. Are they gonna release another new named red hair Liz? Who knows at that point. I seriously do hope it is a Knights of the Apocalypse character. Tristan already has a unit, so Tristan for Knights of the Apocalypse would be weird. So Percival would be nice. December Festival, I think, is the most obvious, though. Listen. Okay, I had to make a cut because I started rambling. But the... I want to actually talk about this. I'm going to make it shorter. There is really a good chance of some relics also being, like, really meta-worthy in the near future with some of the characters that don't have relics yet. I'd make an example here with Death Pierce, but it could be really anyone. I would love for, you know, the Tristan that we have to get a relic that would make goddesses better. And, I mean, honestly, Death Pierce would be the best candidate for a Nanashi-style Holy Relic. But that would be obviously awesome to get alongside a Chaos Arthur for humans, because humans don't have a true back unit. Like, back units for humans all suck. So, man, Nanashi is not a special character. Like, he got this stupidly amazing relic for no reason. There's no... there's nothing that, you know, warranted this holy relic. The same way as Death Pierce. I think if he got a relic just like Nanashi, 30% basic stats. Because at this point, you cannot tell me, oh, it's because humans would be way too overpowered if they got a relic like Nanashi for humans. What are you talking about? Like, that would make no sense. That makes no sense because, no, they're so overpowered. You know what I mean? Like, so it makes no sense, right? That would be good for Chaos Arthur. In any case, I was gonna talk about Meliodas. I think this version of Meliodas would make the most sense. Trillion Dark Meliodas is like super close with this version of him, but it is a different version, and it is already in story, so I guess it doesn't matter, right? He was just on 2 of the most recent story chapters, so I think it would make sense for him to drop. There's no new version of Meliodas, unless they would want to make a Meliodas from Knights of the Apocalypse, you know, to drop on December, but I don't think they would. Knights of the Apocalypse Meliodas doesn't do much. I guess, spoilers, for a long time. He's the king, bro. He won. Like, he won his part, right? He's the king now. He kind of just be sitting there. So, unless they want to get, they do like in Bleach Brave Souls where Aizen has the chair. You know, you just have Meliodas in the chair while he's in the map. Just the king chair, whatever. In any case, I'm pretty hyped for whatever we can get from this November and December. I hope it's pretty good because, you know, this year was very bad. We can all agree. This year was horrible for Grand Cross. In terms of pretty much most of the releases were terrible. Hype-wise especially. But November and December never disappoint, so I have high expectations.